Welcome back, everyone. Kind of unusual for us to park inside the shop with the tractor, but the reason we did that is because of that fertilizer buggy. We actually got about a half-inch of rain last night, and the tarp on there, as you can see, it's kind of all cattywampus, and it's not going to seal water out. So we wanted to make sure that all of our fertilizer in here stayed dry. We've got about 4 tons of fertilizer to spread, so we'll get that knocked out this morning. Hopefully it goes relatively quick. And then after we get that done, I'm not sure exactly. Kind of depends on how wet it really is out there. It's been so dry for so long, I would say that half-inch is going to just absorb up pretty quick. But if for some reason it didn't, we won't go grab our bales. I was hoping to collect all of our bales and get them inside, but they kind of need to dry out anyways. So we'll see. I'm not sure what we'll move on. I know it's pretty unusual that we park the big tractor in the shop, and well, the only reason we did is because this fertilizer buggy behind me. The tarp on it's not the best. I mean, it'll keep all your seed in there while you're driving on the road, but not going to keep water out. And ironically enough, we got half-inch of rain last night, which I know it doesn't seem like a lot, and as dry as it's been, it's really not a lot, and it's going to be absorbed in pretty quick. That's why we're going to go spread this, because I was originally going to move my bales first thing this morning because we weren't supposed to get rain until tonight. The weatherman was a little off, but not a big deal because we need the rain. So we're going to go ahead and spread this fertilizer, and then once we get done with that, hopefully the sun comes out and we'll dry the tops of the bales off, and we can get them inside. I know a lot of you ask about Georgie, and he's doing well, but he is getting older, and he definitely doesn't venture around as much as he used to, which is kind of a good thing because now that he's not doing it, the puppies aren't doing it either. So kind of happy about that part. But he definitely likes to follow you around in the field. I don't know if you can see him back there in the background, but it's what he does now. He's retired, or a manager, whatever, however you want to put it. He's just enjoying life. The bales should have been picked up before we did this. However, the rain kind of hindered that, because that's what I was supposed to do this morning before I spread. So there's just going to be some spots where it ends up catching more fertilizer than it's supposed to. It is what it is. Now, we're actually not putting this on because our field necessarily needs it. The sheep manure puts on a lot of nutrients every year, and there's more than enough for us to get second cuts off of it. We just haven't done it in the past because we haven't needed it, and nobody around us really needed it because we had decent hay years. Since this year was so dry, and not even that, but the spring was so dry that the hay yields were just really low for most people, we decided that, hey, this is an easy way we can help out. We'll just do a second cut, and then we'll just, whatever little money we make off of it, we'll put into fertilizer and just put it back on there, just to be sure that we keep our soil content in a good position. We are simply applying 100 pounds of 777 with ammonium nitrate, and like I said, it's just a maintenance thing. It's nothing real unique or necessarily needed. It's just we want to put something back, and we're actually going to do the whole place because we also realized that when we did turkey litter on this pasture, and it made a huge difference in it, because when you look at it, it is all grasses. Very little, if any, sage grass has even survived over here, and none of the Lespedeza did. So what we're hoping is that maybe doing that again, the Lespedeza is gone, we sprayed it all out, but we're hoping that by doing this again on all the other pastures, because this is the only one we did, we'll do the same thing for it. It's amazing how technology can really save you money by not wasting products. What's even more incredible about it is I spent less on that than I did on 1 load of fertilizer. I'm going to show you why I say that this is saving a bunch of money, and you really don't realize it, because our place is 77 acres over here. So I buy 4 tons of fertilizer to put 100 pounds an acre on, and that gives me 3 extra acres to play with. So basically 300 pounds over what I really need. So when you go in here, right, productive area, which is the boundary that encapsulates this field. So this field is 4.57 acres. The coverage area, so what we covered this time was 4.78. So 2/10 of an acre over. which is 20 pounds of fertilizer extra. 20 pounds extra of fertilizer on a 5-acre area, that's nothing. Because I guarantee if it wasn't for that and I was just, you know, trying to do my best to stay on a straight line and not overlap, or even if I had GPS where it's just guiding me and not steering me, I would still be over far more than what it says. And then to top that off, so like you can see this boundary, hopefully you can see it because I'm bouncing the camera around a little bit. There's a boundary on the left, it's that dotted line of where we're at, and you can see we're overlapping into the next pasture. Well, it's going to actually show me that on the next pasture, and then I won't overlap it there, so I don't waste product in that aspect either. We just started this pasture. This one's 4.36 acres, and we've already covered 1.28 acres. And to top it off, that doesn't even include the amount of time I save by not overlapping, which it translates into fuel in this case because we're running a machine, which also translates into maintenance costs. Like I said, I mean, I was a big naysayer. I'm like, oh, you don't need all that crap. Anybody, you could actually drive a tractor if you focus and don't horse around. And you can, but you just simply can't be as productive as, or precise rather, as this technology, unfortunately. I'm sure there's a few people that can be, but I can't. This is what I mean by that. So the same 4.36 acre field, we only covered 4.15 acres. So again, 2/10 off. Now, I know that 2/10 is actually because I overlapped from the last pasture into this one. So now we're spot on with what we're actually using and we're not wasting a bunch. Now, don't get me wrong, we're gonna use probably a couple pounds, like 5 or 10 pounds more on each pasture than what we need because I have it set to overlap a little bit, but I don't have it set to overlap a whole lot. It's overlapping a foot per pass, so 6 inches on each side, but translates into a foot. Sometimes, as humans, we just don't like change. Technology has a lot of good sides to it, but it also has bad sides to it. And it's just a matter of, you know, how you're going to use them and if you're going to use them appropriately or for good, I guess, for instead of evil, however you want to put it. But it's just kind of what it boils down to. Like, I'm not a fan. I think electric cars are cool, but I don't want to buy one, and I think it's ridiculous that I would get forced to buy one or even an electric tractor. But I'm not saying that, you know, like an electric truck, it actually has a lot of torque. But the bad side is that, I mean, you know, only being able to go 100 miles pulling a 7,500 pound trailer like the Rivian, that's pretty ridiculous because my 36 gallon tank on my 3,500 Silverado, that's a 2004, pulling a 30,000 pound trailer, I can go about 250 miles. So that doesn't make sense to me.